gentlemen, welcome to Bay City, Michigan for the table read. Thanks, Josh and Sean. And more importantly, thanks, Ben and Sean, for bringing you the table read today. I am Ben Whelan. I'm here with Steve Kleida.
How you guys doing? I'm
here with Bad Johnny.
What's up?
And I'm here with Jesse Fisher. Sean Connolly's in the background today. I cut Jesse Fisher off. Go ahead and say hello.
Hi.
I'm sorry, my friend.
Don't be.
Really excited. It was Earth Day weekend last weekend. It was 420 on Friday. And more importantly, it's Monday today. Or something like that. Clyde and I saw The Raid, which we previewed on a different episode of the table read. It's a Taiwanese picture about a bunch of cops that get trapped in a drug lord's warehouse or apartment building and have to fight their way to the top. It's not very plot heavy. It's about the same plot as Debbie Does Dallas, pretty much. And much like Debbie Does Dallas, there's a ton of money shots.
I would like to see Debbie Does Dallas with subtitles, though. That would be pretty sweet.
Steve, let's just go through it really quick.
A lot of vowels.
Some favorite parts that we saw. What stood out? What was better than other martial arts movies? This was the best martial arts movie we've seen.
Oh, knife work for sure.
The knife fighting in this movie, you see people get stabbed into the clavicles, which is your shoulder. Thank you, Bio. Or the top of the leg, and just the knife is dragged down. It's completely gruesome. It's hilariously awesome. And there's several different parts where you're just jumping back. As I jump back to the microphone, I'm sorry, producer Sean.
That's fine.
Where you're just jumping back because you can't believe that they're showing the stuff on camera. It looks like these guys are getting actually killed, which is what a movie is trying to do, you know?
That one dude that got thrown on the railing.
Yeah, guy gets kicked off. They're fighting in the roundabout stairs, you know, when you're going up like a hotel room or an apartment, stairs on the inside, and you can see all the way down. So the main character kicks a guy off of the ledge, and he falls a full story and lands on his back on the next ledge.
Sweet.
It was
snap, crackle, and pop.
It was awesome. Another guy
Wow.
another guy got tackled out of a window, and they fell like 3 stories onto another fire escape. The stunts were intense.
What about the broken door?
Yeah.
I know that was your personal favorite.
Yeah, they're almost all the fighting takes place. It's in an apartment building, so it's all in hallways, and then people get kicked through a door or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, they're in a room now. They can start finding weapons because they're out of hallways. And a guy had gotten kicked through a door, but it had left like a jagged bottom part of it. So the main character gets him into like a headlock hold and jumps backwards and smashes the guy's throat right onto the broken door.
Oh,
it is completely absurd. I think I stood up and said, whoa.
You stood up.
Or sat up. I didn't stand up. I sat up and said, whoa.
I would stand up. I didn't see this movie.
I almost tossed my delightful nachos out.
Yeah, he kind of thought it was like a goal in a hockey game. He was just throwing stuff around. Steve Kleida, the mayor, ladies and gentlemen, finished his nachos. We got there during the previews. He finished his nachos before the previews were done.
Props are off to you, Ben, because if you're going to eat theater nachos, you're a stud.
He ate mine afterwards.
No, I'm not gonna. You could put cheese sauce on anything. You put that shit on a shoe, I'll probably eat it.
I see a challenge for upcoming shows. Yeah. I'm sure I could put nacho cheese on something he will not eat.
Actually, we were looking at a challenge today because we were at the diner before the episode.
And they had a 13 egg omelet. We were wondering how many people.
Baker's dozen omelet.
Yeah.
And the 13th egg isn't even real.
I've seen on Man vs. Food him try to go at a 13 egg omelet. It is
disgusting.
I mean, it comes on like
a pizza platter.
Yeah, it comes.
Or a trash can lid.
It's like the size of a deflated beach ball. I mean, it's huge.
You do that. You have to use somebody else's plumbing when you're done. You don't use your own home.
Oh, he warned me on the way over. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some damage at break.
That's great. Thanks for sharing.
So that's what all of you have to look forward to on your commercial break here.
Detract.
At the
Derailed. Table
read, sponsored by Stretch's Curve Bar for all of your catering and drinking needs.
Delicious.
We'll be there later tonight. All right. Well, I think we touched on The Raid enough. It was. Do you have any looking back on it, Steve, we've had 2 days to kind of digest it. What are your final impressions?
It's the best movie I've seen yet this year.
Yeah, although we haven't
early in
really
the year.
seen that many movies this year.
If you need to decide if you want to see this movie or not, get the international trailer.
Yeah, the Red Band trailer.
Not the American trailer.
Oh, and we should mention the sound was done by a dude from Linkin Park. A couple different times we talked about. I mentioned
the soundtrack
that the
on it was
score
really
was
good.
really good.
Yeah, done by
Mike Chioda?
Mike
Yeah.
Shinoda and Joseph Trapanese. I'm not sure who he is.
Not a big fan of Linkin Park, but he's on a few soundtracks, and he's got an ear for it. So
Joseph Trapanese is also very famous for his circus act. I knew I'd get you with that. I knew I would get you with that.
You were just seeing if I was listening.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Trapanese worked on the Tron Legacy soundtrack.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about
Daft
stuff I can
Punk.
put nacho cheese on that he will not eat.
A Trapanese.
Yeah.
wow. There's a 13-egg omelet. Can you put nacho cheese on that?
Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
hell yeah, you put nacho cheese on
Is
that.
this thing on?
You could put you probably will put sausage gravy on it too.
Oh yeah.
13 eggs, that is ridiculous.
Why
All right,
not?
from 13 eggs to 7 wins. NBA tanking season is in full effect. The ESPN True Hoop blog actually released a statement saying they were going to do a war on tanking. They were going to call out teams that they felt were losing on purpose in order to secure better draft stock. Now, the Charlotte Bobcats are on pace to get the lowest winning percentage of all time in the NBA. It's good. They're going to clock in, I think, under 11%. And they're on pace to right now. They have 7 total wins in a 66-game season, and they're resting their 2 best players, Tyrese Thomas and Corey Maggette, are arguably their 2 best players. They don't have any good players,
I
but
was gonna say they can't be that great.
they're the top of the trash heap as far as it goes there. And they've been resting him for a couple of weeks with really, really questionable injuries. I mean, like a sore knee, and I think the other one was an ankle twist or something. So my question is, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is good for the competitive balance of the game. I think that ESPN's right to call him out on it. And then in a little bit, we'll get Sean to weigh in on if he thinks he wanted to talk about if it was bleeding over to other sports. But Claudia, you want to weigh in on your thoughts on the morality of tanking and the business sense of it?
The business sense, actually, from an owner's standpoint, makes a lot of sense, though. Because you're going to be able to get that, you have a much better chance of getting that high prospect draft pick, which in the NBA, one person can make a ton of difference.
Yeah.
I disagree with that, because if the fans know you're taking, they're not going to go to your games anymore. So all that revenue from concessions and merchandise and
that's
ticket sales, which helps.
I'm going to have to disagree with the fans not coming. They might not come that season, but next year when you pick up LeBron James, you're going to have fans in droves coming to see him dominate the court.
A couple of points here. You cap out at 25% is the best. That's what the winner of the lottery has in.
Or
the worst record is a 25% chance.
What if you can freeze your envelope?
Well, go to www.nbadrafturbanlegends.com for the frozen envelope story. But yeah, you cap out at 25%, and Jesse, due to revenue sharing, it's not hurting the Bobcats as much as it probably should. They might be in danger if they had a crappy owner. They're owned by Michael Jordan, so if they had a crappy owner, they'd be in danger of being moved. But their owner is one of the 100 richest guys in the country, backed by Nike. I mean, they'll have trouble feeling the financial burden of this, which is why ESPN's so up in arms about it, because it's not right.
No, if you're in a professional sports situation, you're playing for not only yourself, but for the people who are there to support you. If you're purposely tanking, like, oh, don't worry about it, we'll be better next year, that's a hypothetical. You should be trying to make sure you're better now. At least give them some benefit of the doubt to come back next year. Yeah,
and I think it was something like in the last 8 NBA drafts, the team with the worst record did not get the #1 pick. So the gods of chance are not rewarding these people.
Hasn't Jordan, like, just to keep it on the Bobcats, hasn't he made a bunch of crappy trades anyways?
Yeah, he's...
Like, hasn't he kind of proven that he doesn't really know what he's doing outside the court? Like, on the court, he's the best basketball player ever, but
yeah, he's not making himself any reputation as a great executive. You're right. Switching gears a little bit, the Washington Wizards are held up as they beat the Charlotte Bobcats by 26 points the other day. They beat 2 days ago. It would have been on Tuesday night last week. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks, who were fighting for a playoff spot. They beat them by, I think, 9 points with a 32-point barrage from Jordan Crawford. Guy limped onto the court earlier that day for shoot-around, was going to be deactivated, asked to play because they're trying to win every game. They're playing for their fans. Throws in 32. They play an injured center, Nene from Brazil. Chipped in another 14 points. They played a combined 54 minutes on 2 guys that were not supposed to play that day, but they did because their coach and their philosophy is we're trying to win every game. They have the 2nd or 3rd worst record in the NBA right now. I mean, they could be in the exact same place as the Charlotte Bobcats record-wise, but instead of deactivating their starters, instead of kind of shrugging apologetically to their fans, they're out there battling every day. And I don't think if I can say enough from a competitive standpoint, it's how good that is to see an opposite reaction and not just everyone be like, well, that's what we do now. You know, anyone want to weigh in on that?
I don't know. I see the strategizing of it. I mean, you know, you when you open this up, you made a comment as far as the morality in professional sports. I mean, I think that in itself is just...
It's an oxymoron, yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't... I mean, that'll recap the entire situation that you've got going here.
And GM for the Houston Rockets, Daryl Morey, is considered one of the more progressive thinkers in the NBA. He's said that you don't want to be in the middle of the pack, where our hometown favorite Detroit Pistons are going to end up, where you miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 spots, and then you're not in the top running for a lottery pick.
Because you're looking to go in the following year exactly where you came out of the year before.
But he's also said that if you're going to position yourself to quote, to lose, you better lose competitively. You know, you better have a team out there that the fans can at least believe in. You know what I mean? Not guys that are sitting down in their suits.
So you'd rather them play half-assed?
No, I'd rather them play. If you're gonna have a losing team, throw out 10 guys that are going to play their asses off to lose. You know,
this is gonna sound like a real racial comment. Basically, just fill the floor with the white guys.
Yeah,
that's really what I mean. It's the NBA. If you really want to basically give it all your best effort but not win, there you go.
Well, I don't think the Bobcats have a single Caucasian player actually. Just to weigh in on that side of it. They did have Adam Morrison for a while, the crying man that you may remember from.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonzaga.
But I think a good example to hold up there is we'll weigh in on the other sports because I don't think the NFL you can tank it all in. The Colts had one of the worst teams in years last year. They have the #1 pick, and they got that by losing all but 2 or 3 games. But
they're no Detroit Lions going 0-16, but
and no one can question their effort. You know, they went out there and they played their asses off. They beat some teams they weren't supposed to.
You're talking the Lions?
No, the Colts.
The
Colts this last year they went I believe 3-14 or 3-13 it would have been.
But they came in every week and played.
Yeah, and they played to the wire a couple times.
I think with the NFL it's impossible just because of the physicality of the sport itself.
Yeah, well, and Clyde and I were talking, you have as many as 50 guys involved in a game.
Yeah,
I mean,
you've got a rotation.
The #1 overall draft pick does not make that huge of a difference.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
NFL is a true team sport, so one guy's, it may lift you up a bit, but it's not going to carry you. Unless you're Peyton Manning, because that's apparently what he did.
Well, who's the player last year that was in the contract dispute, and he's a receiver, a big-known receiver, and he was just dogging it down the sides.
Wasn't he for the Titans?
The Randy Moss?
No.
No?
Well,
No, Randy will take any money you give him at this
I
point
think
in
you
time.
guys are either talking about Deshaun Jackson, the receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles,
There you go.
That's it. That was
or Chris Johnson, the running back for the Tennessee
Yeah,
Titans,
he's
both of
just-
which had contract disputes and
Yeah.
did not produce.
And then, but that's basically the same type of thing. It's a personal gain is the reason that they're slagging.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. We get into a little bit murkier territory when you talk about how NFL contracts aren't guaranteed, which is why these guys. Okay, so you sign a baseball or an NBA contract for 5 years, $65 million. You get injured the first year of that contract. They're still obligated to pay you a percentage of that contract, right?
Right.
In the NFL, it's voided for medical reasons.
Really?
Yeah, and at this point, the Retired Players Association, they don't pay for insurance.
Yeah, I know that's.
Yeah, so like that's why, and that's, I mean, people get up in arms about these guys refusing to play for their millions of dollars, but several NFL players have come out and brought this to light. Like, look, that's because they could just stop paying us if we can't play. Like, we have to get this money as fast as we can.
But as a player in the NFL, you are the owner of your own franchise. You truly are. I mean, you own you. You are what makes you your money, and that's very similar. I think it's very similar to the NBA then, because you got the owner of the team.
Okay, I'll
As a
follow your metaphor. Go ahead.
No, that's all I got, man.
Yeah. I got to see what you say. Because you could, as a player in the NFL, you could go out and make other sources of revenue because of your status on an NFL team. So, but I understand that Deshaun's reason to want to get paid more. He produced the year and thought he should get somewhat compensated.
We all do.
Yeah. Well, Johnson for the Titans. I remember it being kind of because he insists on getting paid top tier quarterback money.
Yeah, he wanted to be one of the highest paid players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson wanted a receiver salary that was comparable with the season he'd had the year before.
Yeah.
They are two different situations. I agree with you, Jesse. And yeah, where Johnson, the greed argument's a little bit more compelling with Johnson, and then like we said with Jackson, was just looking to get market value for him. It's a lot like baseball arbitration, where they an underpaid player will have a monster season, and then after the season's over, he's allowed to go in to a third-party judge and say, look, I put up numbers similar to these guys that are getting paid like this, and then they can be entitled to a percentage of like the mean player's salary that he's trying to get.
I guess my point, and even though I'm not really quite sure it was my point, was that it transcends the different sports, whether it's through ownership or whether it's through personal players. As far as the tanking aspect, in my view, it does.
Okay, yeah, and I think that the
I think that was my point. Was that my point, Jesse?
That sounds like your point.
Jesse confirms that was my point.
Thank you.
I'm going with it.
The NFL owners, I think, they're a little bit more old school and a little bit more. It's harder to be an NFL owner than it is an NBA owner, and the
You can't be
NBA
unless you
owners.
got 1 foot in your box.
Yeah, and the NBA owners are a little bit more insulated, I think, than the NFL. An NFL owner is as powerful as a mayor of their particular city, you know. I mean, and probably as much in the spotlight. No one gives a crap about the Charlotte Bobcats, really. But if the Pittsburgh Steelers sucked for 3 straight years, we'd hear about it all over the national media, you know. So
you kind of hear it now with look at the Dallas Cowboys. They're supposed to be producing this
Super Bowl caliber team every year.
Yeah, just because
that's a good point.
The history of their franchise and who their owner is and all this crap.
And their $1 billion stadium.
Yeah, and then they don't produce.
Well, that's part of it, just the community investment into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, by their very nature, the NFL teams impact a much greater swath of the community through their TV deals, through the fact that they employ a lot more people, and the money is just astronomically larger than any other sport in America. I mean, do we think that this happens in any other sport? So, I mean, there's no baseball tanking, right?
Table tennis.
Table tennis. Well, table tennis is the seedy underworld of table tennis.
It's a seedy underworld.
As witnessed in the 2007 opus, Balls of Fury, starring Christopher Walken, is controlled by a shadowy under-organization bent on world domination.
Very similar to the Dodgeball Commission.
Yeah, the World Dodgeball Commission. So there's no tanking in baseball. There's no tanking in hockey, right, Jesse?
I wouldn't think so. No, it depends on the player. Some players you can tell phone it in.
Yeah, well, there's phoning it in, and there's a team effort.
Yeah.
You know, an upper management effort towards building a loser.
But with certain, like with baseball, especially, it depending on who the player is, someone phoning it in could just be the same result as tanking.
Because one player can affect it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look at the Red Sox last year. They're expected to go into the playoffs and then they get knocked out because they just kind of phoned it in the last little leg of the season.
Yeah, well, they're okay.
Drinking beers while playing games.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between
baseball was built on drinking beers during the game.
Yeah, read a book about DiMaggio sometime. Not a good person. But that's putting piss poor effort in, and there's a difference between losing on accident and losing on purpose. Any dumbass can lose on accident. It takes an effort of will to lose on purpose, though, right? I mean, that's the difference. Is that if you lose because you're not throwing your effort around,
the Red Sox didn't tank last year. They just got lazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing.
I don't think you're giving enough credit to dumbassness.
Yeah. you're
Because it's a true art form.
You're assuming that even on your worst, you could beat somebody. And in a competitive sport, period, that's not the mentality you should have.
Well, that's not what tanking is, though. Tanking is purposely losing to guarantee
benching your best players on purpose
to get a draft spot.
Yeah.
Which draft spots in baseball aren't nearly as big as they are in basketball either. Because you draft a baseball dude, he still goes and spends time in the minor leagues.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
the
like he's
NBA draft
impact.
is 2 rounds long.
Yeah.
And the MLB draft lasts like 4.5 weeks. It's amazing. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
Yeah, but it's like 4 days.
yeah, it's a complete. You can camp out at it. It's ridiculous.
You're listening
All right.
to Sports Talk
Well,
Radio.
yeah, I was gonna say thank you for sticking
no
with
kidding.
the table read, guys, because that was a slog.
Oh, can we mention that the Lions got 5 televised games this year? Nationally televised games?
Well, you just did, so yes, we
No.
can.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I just did it. Bam! I hit the table, but I probably screwed up the mics.
Yes, thank you.
The Raiders have any televised games, John?
Excuse me. I can smell you talking. Now that our owner is dead, there's a good chance we're going to actually have a good team.
You guys have been so close for the last couple of years.
I'm
I enjoy watching the Raiders. That's another team that has been predicted to do really badly and has overachieved because I think they have a lot of good people on the team. Like players that play hard.
Swear to God. I mean, you can put Davis in the Hall of Fame all you want and credit him for so much he's done with the NFL. But I firmly said until the man was in a box and there was dirt on top, we are not going to see another playoff. And I think it's because he's been dead for like 6 years. He's like Weekend at Bernie's. You ever see the shots of him sitting up there? You'd know he's crapping himself while he's sitting up there.
It was quite obviously just a sea monster dressed up.
Yeah, he's like a Muppet. Somebody's working his hand. Nah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Al.
We could have featured him on Aquatic Billionaires for being a sea monster.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of when we don't have stuff for Aquatic Billionaires, we'll just flash a picture of one of them that looks like a sea monster. If you make $1 billion, it's because you're ugly enough to not be being quote unquote active until you're 30 or 33.
Right.
I mean, you got to be driven to do other things.
Yeah, you got no other outlet for it. Your juices boil inside, you make money.
All right, well, guys, we went a little bit long on that. I think we're going to break here. Thanks for listening, tuning into the Table Read, sponsored by Stretch's Curve here on the corner of Henry and Fisher. Have a good break. We'll see you on the flip side. Well, I did not realize we would get that many.
I'm sorry,
That's
I
some
didn't mean
good
to pull
opinions, though,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I really liked it.
It's 420. Do I get to do my bowl?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for holding on with us, and make sure you stop by whatever local sponsor was just in that trailing ad. You're listening to The Table Read, brought to you by Stretch's Curve Bar on the corner of Henry and Fisher. I'm here with Mr. Steve Clyde, Bad Johnny, and Jesse Fisher. We're going to get things rolling along with a new segment we're debuting called Ridiculous Literature. We're not going to do this every week, but we will do this whenever we find something completely absurd in the literary world.
I'm pretty sure we could do this every week.
We probably could. We're debuting it this week with a book about prison food. Take it away, Steve.
As I was perusing the internet, found this little gem. It's called From the Big House to Your House, written by 6 female Texas inmates, 5 of who are in for murder. and includes 200 recipes that you can make with stuff you purchased from the prison commissary.
Does the back jacket have an about the authors?
Please say it does.
I'm 90% sure it does.
I'd like to know.
Oh no, it's just got their photos.
How bad is
And
it?
how
Describe
bad?
them
Come on.
briefly.
I'm gonna.
They're definitely old stock photos.
Yeah.
Like one of the girls definitely got thrown in the clink in the early to mid 80s.
Sweet Jenny.
And one of them, Barbara, might be from the 70s. It's pretty bad.
Oh,
It's like they're booking photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
And they're terribly like Photoshop cut out.
Yeah,
Like you chopped some of the hair off in that.
they tried to make it into a class photo.
It's choice.
Before I even open that book for the recipes, I'd really like to know exactly what they did, like murder-wise, like how they murdered, because that could be an issue. With
murdered
some-
by saute.
Well-
I mean, you need to know if there
Well,
was
no,
actual kitchen
or-
utensils used. They should have had to have used kitchen utensils in order to be part of it.
There's
Right?
that.
Or poison.
Or poison. Poison is
Yeah.
the thing I'm concerned about.
Chelsea.
Yeah, because you can't add on to their time.
My-
And if they kill you with their recipes, is that
Like they just like, hey, it was a joke. It says to add poison, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and then bam, you got a recipe.
Dead Jesse?
Yeah, I know.
You derailed yourself right there. You didn't even. You started talking about something. It was
I
great.
pushed.
I loved it.
Pushed.
I pushed?
My biggest curiosity is, what are the acknowledgments going to be like? Like, the authors would like to thank, Big Mama Sybil
Yeah.
down in
The night guard.
yeah,
You
you
know.
know, like, and they all have their prison nicknames.
I'd like to thank the Texas Department of Justice commissary store.
Who contacted the publisher? Who's like, this is the book that we need to put out.
No, I'm in.
And did they test these recipes? That's more of a concern. And where?
The inmates have access to like a hot plate, which will warm water up enough not to boiling, because that can obviously be used as a
probably
weapon.
to soften ramen or whatever.
Yeah, and they had access to that, and then they pretty much.
But everything has to be cooked with a popsicle stick and a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a fork.
Yeah. Yeah, so Clyde, what you were talking about some of the sections, about some of the recipes. Give us a highlight here. We might come back to this later. So
Sex section 1 is entitled "Feast in a Bag."
Is that feast?
Feast.
not
Okay.
feast.
No, I was thinking of something else.
Feast in a bag, which is stuff you can make in an old potato chip bag, which you then put in boiling water to heat things.
It's too absurd. I love it.
I kind of want to buy this book now.
I kind of like to start sending these things to school in my kid's lunchbox.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Cell block pudding.
You want to know how they get garlic in the prison?
How's that?
yeah.
You get garlic vitamin tablets and then squeeze the garlic out of it.
With what?
With what? Yeah.
I assume it comes in like a gel capsule.
Yeah, and you just
Oh.
like a vitamin E, like a
I-
vitamin E pill.
I work at a place. Some of them do. Some of them are just hard tablets. So they could just melt them down in the
Just
water.
crush them up or something. Or suck on them and keep spitting the stuff out. There's
Yeah.
your juice. There's your garlic juice.
I don't know if I would try the baked potato.
Oh God, what is that?
No,
It's
no.
rehydrated potato chips warmed in their warming pot.
It would have just been better if you just left it at that. Like,
Wow.
I really want to try this baked potato. And cut.
It was 420 last Friday, guys. For the one guy, I think, that still does it in the studio. You know what? I won't call him out.
It's the only way I can stay in touch with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to stay grounded, man.
Jesse's getting prettier the more we talk. I just
Yeah.
want you to know that.
That's a feat.
Little known fact for those of you
Ow.
just joining us, it is not actually 420. It is Monday. You've now missed 3 straight days of work at your dead-end job.
It's 4:23.
Yeah, it is 4:23, and that's a date. That's not a time. You didn't just miss 3 minutes. You missed 3 days. Please eat an entire bag of barbecue chips and then call your parents. They're worried about you. Quick 420 myth. That is not the.
You know where they just yell out from the basement, "Hey, mom!"
Yeah.
That's how they call their parents.
Yeah, call your parents. I'm at my parents. Crap. We're talking. Never mind.
Table read's coming from a basement. This is beautiful.
Yeah. 420 is not the police penal code in California for marijuana possession. It's not actually a marijuana possession code anywhere. The universal California Penal Code for marijuana possession is a code 11357B. Code 420 is misdemeanor hindrance of public land.
The B is for baked.
It means it means you've like parked your car in a park or something.
Wow.
It's literally like a parking ticket.
That's super disappointing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, parked your car in a park.
I think some hippie university students back in the 60s started it. I forgot the story, but it was explained once.
San Rafael High School in California.
San Rafael, but we'll go with that.
Thank you,
No
John.
problem.
In
California native.
1971, a group of about a dozen teenagers calling themselves the Waldos, at 4:20 p.m. every day, they would meet under a statue of philosopher Louis Pasteur. Is that the right pronunciation?
Yeah, and it wasn't 12, it was only 8, and Jimmy was the one that put the whole thing together.
And they would smoke a bunch of weed and then comically salute each other in the hallways and say 420, Louis.
Oh my goodness.
That's an
I got Funyuns. I really need Funyuns.
Yeah. Might have to go for that 13 egg omelet, huh, Clyde?
The way you said that. So creepy.
All right, guys. It is a little bit dated now, but we should mention it. We're a dork nerd podcast. We talk about electronics. We talk about neat things that happened in pop culture. And Coachella came to a close over the weekend, but the big news of the first weekend was the Tupac hologram. Jesse, you feel qualified to talk to us about, like, just explain to the audience what exactly went on, or?
Not really.
All right.
I was aware of it, but
So you guys can go on YouTube. You can look up Tupac hologram. Oh, here comes the producer. Come on in here, buddy.
I'm in there. Basically, it's not actually a hologram at all. What they did was they reflected. It's kind of like a DLP TV where they have mirrors and things like that, and they reflect images. And it's actually only a 2D image that was reflected onto the screen. It wasn't even a 3D image at all. It's just the way they designed it made it actually look like there was a 3D person,
Yeah, like it was
a
3D.
model, like walking around on the stage. So it's used actually all over the place, and gosh, I forget the name of what it's called, but
It's huge in Japan.
yeah, it's huge in Japan where they have the Vocaloid thing, where it's a completely fictional character, and she's
Yeah, it's a holographic concert that she puts on.
that she puts on, and it's like the second or third most popular person in the entertainment industry over there.
I love you, Japan.
Yeah. They use it in Disney theme parks. There was a Magic School Bus episode about the technology years ago, and so it's just
Wow.
I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for that.
yeah, it's not new at all, but
Lily Tomlin's smoking.
but it but it's great.
Johnny, we've been yet to really utilize your expertise. You have pretty strong opinions about this hologram thing, and you don't like it.
No, I don't like it at all.
Your quote was, "You want your."
If I'm at a show and I paid $40, $50 for a ticket, I want to know that I'm close enough that the guy playing guitar can just piss on me, and
That's
I'm like, woo,
exactly
part of the
what he had
experience.
said.
Yep.
You want the urination danger to be very
I
real.
want to be able to drug test whatever.
You do
that's
not
exactly
want
right.
that holographic
No,
urine coming down.
I don't need fake stuff. I got
What
enough of that in my hand.
if now here's a question. What if they if the hologram urinated and then they used water effects and you actually got water on you? Or would it have to be actual
You'd have to go with some kind of a salty water.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to doctor your water to make it more urine-like.
Yeah. Like soak like a cow liver in it before.
No, like if you took a gallon of apple juice and dumped a pound of salt in it.
That's what your urine tastes like.
Only warm. It's
Go
a
to
totally
the-
different taste when it's cold. I just want you to know that
Go
it's
to
important
the
to know.
doctor, man. You've been eating too many omelets.
I think
Apple juice and salt. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm gonna die.
I gotta get back to the script here.
And you could be squeezing in those garlic pills too. That'd be a nice little touch to it.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for ruining Coachella for us, Clyde.
Here to help.
I think we're done with Johnny. Everything else you want to say about holograms?
Good.
It's neat. I can't believe it took this long to come
do
to the
it,
United
yeah.
States, and I think Coachella's if they want to make this technology pretty mainstream, was the best place to debut it.
Right. I think the biggest reason why it's even in the news and has done so much to be brought to the forefront of media is because it was with dead rappers. It's because they used Tupac and if you would have just had a fictional character and someone nobody knows, it was just a cool little neat thing. It would have been an aside. Who cares?
Which is what the dead rapper should have been.
I agree.
Weren't you gonna ask like if we each could have a hologram buddy or something?
We're getting to that in our favorite segment, rapid fire.
I'm really afraid that I'm gonna forget mine. So go ahead.
Here's a crayon. Write it down.
It's a crayon.
On what? On the table.
Yeah, it wipes off.
All right, I'm good.
It's wax. If it doesn't wipe off, you can always burn it off.
By the way, this tastes like apple juice.
All right, and this will be our last table read from the studio, guys. Thank you for stopping by each and every week. Claudia, give us another prison delicacy really quick.
Oh, I don't have them up anymore. My personal favorite, though, is Frito pie. Not exactly sure what's in it, but I know Fritos are involved, and a big fan.
I have wanted to swear more on this podcast than I have really had to reel in. I feel like I'm a Disney feral cat. This is our segue into rapid fire.
I thought segues were smooth.
Not these ones.
No.
There's not much about this host that is smooth at all. I got the job by default because I was the one that could talk the longest without losing my voice, I think. So we're not very classically trained here, John. Our producer, Sean, who once worked at Disney World
Correct.
in Orlando, did not believe the urban legend that dozens, if not hundreds, of feral cats roam the Disneyland park after hours to control the rodent population.
Oh no, I fully believed in the Disneyland thing because it's a whole rival, Disney World, Disneyland, the crew there. But I knew it was false for a Disney World.
Anyways, causing us to go to the internet for
Wait,
research.
Completely just disregard.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
beautiful. That's
You
a good
said we were
segue.
wrong.
That's a segue.
Yeah, he said we were wrong.
He did say we were wrong.
And we were right, weren't we? Big guy.
We were completely right. In fact, I've brought up photos to prove it.
Alright, well,
Feral cats on Disney rides prowling for mice.
can you link those to the Wonder Nation Facebook?
Yeah, we can probably make that happen.
They'll be up, and we'll have them up on the video version of the podcast that will be out next month.
Monday. Busy.
Oh, Sean, get over to the microphone. Sean, Jesse, and I shot, did 5 hours of recording.
Yeah, Sunday.
A week. 8 days ago.
Yeah.
8 days ago now. And Sean, what was it like to be back on a student film shoot with all of the frustrations and amateurness that went on?
Hilarious. There's way too many penis jokes that go down for my recordings, but it was interesting. I mean, we had to do action scenes, which I've never done before, and a lot of special effects because we're doing a superhero short. So
yeah, and the crew was very enthusiastic.
They were. Everyone loved it. Everyone was all about helping out, and for basically what was a 2 slices of pizza payment. So.
Yeah. Oh, I have your change, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Also, there was beer. I
beer.
bought beer.
Yeah, and I went and got drunk afterwards, so that's
There
good.
you go.
Will that be up on the Nation when you? Because you have to turn this in, right?
Yeah, when it's done. Well, I did the special effects for my project for turning it in.
Okay.
Which is actually already up on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not going to be up for a while because there's a lot of color correction I got to do. There's a lot of post.
But we'll put it on the Nation.
When it's done.
And what if we want to get back? If the 4 or 5 fans of ours that aren't our parents are on YouTube and want to search for the things that we're talking about, how do they search? What's the easiest way to get to your YouTube channel?
You can search either One Nerd Nation TV, it's all one word.
Okay.
Or Aiden23, AIDENN is my actual username, but the channel's One Nerd Nation TV.
Okay, because our sponsor Stretch discovered YouTube last week
I see.
and was immediately
It's a hot mess.
raising his mighty fists in anger because he could not get to the Wonder Nation podcast, and I had to go to Facebook, and he was bitterly fatherly disappointed in the fact that I couldn't bring it up just with one click. He thinks the internet's magic. So.
I see.
It's not.
If he wants to go to the table read Facebook, there are all links right there.
That was a segue.
Yes, it
Did you
was.
see how
Yeah,
we let into each other like that? We're a good team.
That was
Just
good.
see when we do a 2-man. It's ridiculous. It's crisp.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's entertaining.
You guys should
is.
go to jail and,
Yeah.
and write a book.
Uh-oh, he's got something to say.
No, I'm gonna pass on that.
All right. Gonna double up on a couple of our segments here. It is time for rapid fire. I'm gonna spring one on you guys later on though. That's gonna incorporate one of our other segments. I don't know which one. We're missing a couple of them lately, so we'll figure out which one it is. Sean, are you gonna jump into a rapid fire?
Occasionally.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was Earth Day this weekend. We encourage you to recycle each and every, of course, of the planet in any way possible that doesn't involve buying a hybrid car because they're for bitches. I drive a 1998 Tahoe. Okay, it's the biggest chassis Chevy ever came out with. I get 9 miles to the gallon, and that will. I'm sorry.
Way to limit the sponsorship you can get for this show.
Yeah.
Anything for bitches will not be part of this show.
You know what? Yeah, we were really banking on that sweet Toyota cash.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go around. Johnny, what did you do for Earth Day? Did you do something special?
I recycle. Every day is Earth Day for me because you take the bong water and you make your macaroni and cheese out of it.
The old hippie recycles every day.
That's exactly right.
Jesse, what
I
did you do?
am recycled, bitch.
I hugged a tree.
What?
Literally?
Yeah.
Did you get arrested this year?
Nope.
He's got his hand on a shrub right now.
That's creepy as hell.
Clyde, what did you do? You got an all-range chicken 13 gallon, didn't you? All organic?
Yeah.
It's super organic.
He ate the offspring of another living animal.
I refrained from eating salad for a day.
Oh, well, I actually, we do this. We donated, over at the sponsor at Stretch's Curve Bar, we donated a bunch of our glass to a craft maker. So instead of going, we recycle it anyways, but instead of going right to the recycler, actually we're reusing. Because the 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and recycle, right? We still do that, or is that a 90s thing?
That's a 90s thing.
Oh, what are the 3 R's now?
I don't.
I think they're still the same.
I think we just dropped. Let's just recycle.
It's just recycle?
Yeah, it's just got reduced.
All right.
Itself.
Big segue here. Apparently, the Republic of Sweden has its own Twitter account that is run by a different Swede every week. This was stumbled upon during breakfast this Monday morning, a day after Earth Day weekend, by the mayor. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, somebody, a friend of mine that I follow on Twitter, retweeted something about at Sweden, and so immediately after realizing that it's Sweden's national Twitter account,
We did some research.
had to do some research, and it's done by the curators of Sweden as I guess kind of like a tourism promotion to allow the common man to
kind of promote their own country.
promote things to do in
I can
Sweden,
hear myself backing away.
and it was controlled by every 7 days a different Swede gets a crack at it.
Yeah, they've already started one controversy where a very I'm not gonna think of it. A very passionate Swede that was a new mother was tired of covering herself up while breastfeeding in public and started a national expose yourself while breastfeeding campaign. That spread worldwide and caused a little bit of a stir. So what I'm telling you, this was a Jesse Fisher intro
Causing
to
a stir in me.
Rapid Fire, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like a
What the
5-minute intro.
what the
Jesse
hell
hasn't
happened?
even. Okay, I'm sorry. Rapid Fire question: what country do you want to be tweeted at by Johnny?
I don't even twit. What are you talking? Huh?
Jesse, give 2 answers. Give one for
Can you
Johnny.
give one for me, man?
Okay.
I'll pay you.
Jamaica, Ireland.
No, I don't want Jamaica. Try again.
You get Ireland.
All right, I'll take Ireland.
I'll take Jamaica. I don't care.
Why Jamaica? Well, I mean Ireland because it's hilarious and they're drunk all the time. They fight each other. But go ahead.
Pretty
This
much.
is stereotype hour, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much the same
It's
reasons
weird.
for Ireland, except they don't get drunk.
So which means you could also follow at Russia, at Germany.
Oh, I would love to. I changed my answer. I would love to follow Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, just what new man made $1 billion by murdering several of his comrades on a meteoric rise to the top?
If you want to follow an actual Twitter account of someone drunk and fighting, follow at Russell Crowe.
I want at Cuba. Can I have at Cuba?
Yeah.
I want at Cuba.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say I want to follow at Israel. I want some hard hitting news. I want some character profiles. They have a national service mandatory. I want a new hero every week. And you know what? I am not a quarter Jewish, but sometimes I wish I was, and I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about my homeland. So that is it. At
Which
Israel,
quarter of you would you want to be Jewish?
the
Yeah.
right leg.
You go with that.
No, you want the brain quarter.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we'll just drop that right there. It is
Then I
in
wouldn't
the
get free
finals
beer.
of voting. Finals of voting for the Madden cover, ladies and gentlemen. It is Calvin Johnson against Cam Newton, right?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, yeah. Two young stud athletes, couple of the best at their respective positions. Cam going to try to break into the top 5 best quarterbacks, top 10 best quarterbacks this year in football. Calvin Johnson already arguably the best wide receiver, although it's a big argument. Unfortunately, every single person that gets voted onto the Madden cover either gets their
Dies.
career destroyed or sucks afterwards. So we don't want either one of these guys to win. Jesse, who would you rather nominate as a Madden cover candidate?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, come on.
No, it's more personal for me. Plus, I really don't like Green Bay because of personal things. Brother rivalry. My brother's favorite team is the Packers. So anything that could drop them down out of the NFC North and make them like.
Man, you said I had issues, Johnny. He's voting for a guy to get injured because of his brother that lives in a different
Basement.
basement, different basement.
I like the team that's on the top of our division to not be at the top of our division. It's
There's a valid reason.
Have you forgotten what happened when Matt Flynn?
Yeah,
took the
carved
quarterback?
up the Lions,
Yeah.
600 yards.
Yeah.
All right,
so
Clyda.
we think that, I think.
Clyda, weigh in. What athlete you want on the cover?
Tony Romo.
Oh.
Might as well.
Yeah, he can play through the injury, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Broken ribs.
You could throw
Get a
whatever the
punctured
Madden
lung.
curse can throw at him. Tony Romo's coming
Punctured
back in,
lung last year, he's still playing.
dropping bombs.
I want Dale Earnhardt Jr. to be on the cover of Madden. I'm tired of
Junior?
him. I'm tired of him. I don't want any. No, I do not want any ill will to go at Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'm just tired of seeing him interviewed. He can, let's see a hip flexor. All right, just put him on the couch for a couple weeks. I'm fine.
Tom Brady.
Oh, you do watch football. Oh,
Tom
yeah, you're a
Brady.
Raider fan. I forgot
Tom
about
Brady.
that. So I'm sorry,
I'd love
Johnny.
to see somebody just snap his leg like a Theismann.
That's actually happened to him already. So.
Tim Tebow.
Well,
Oh,
but you
no.
don't. Wait.
I didn't ask you that because I knew your friggin' answer.
I was gonna say that, but the
Yeah.
only thing is that he sucks like he's already been on the cover. So I don't think you can do any more damage to him.
Very true.
Wasn't he on the cover of NCAA football?
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
2007, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, the next cover I want to see
It was,
Tebow
he
on is
went back.
Undertaker's
No, he
week.
didn't go back into college afterwards,
Ow.
actually. All right.
6-foot Glad Ziploc bag would be a nice thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, since the break, we have been previewing a delightful little book called From the Big House to Your House as part of our absurd literature series. Jesus Christ, who's calling me? As part of our
literature by Jesus Christ. I read that book.
The Lost Gospels of prison food. Anyways, my question to you guys is, what is the prison recipe you want? What's your own prison recipe you want to see the most duplicated in the second version of the book? Johnny?
Barbecue toenail clippings.
What are some of the virtues?
The virtues?
Cheap, easy?
They're chewable. They're easy to find. They're all over the floor. And you get a little bit of little grungy DNA in there.
Does it involve, is it a homemade barbecue sauce or do you have to get that from the...
Oh, it has. The sauce isn't a big deal. The sauce you can get out of the jar, but the clippings got to be fresh,
Yes.
baby. The clippings have to be fresh.
Did you just turn that
I
off?
see. No, I'm good. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Is that Israel? Are you following Israel? Is that what's happening
yeah,
here?
it's my push notification. Jesse, what is your prison recipe that you want to be seen?
Anything that doesn't get me stabbed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be brought.
Another high energy
Yeah.
chime in from Jesse Fisher. Are you gonna go sleep at work for the whole rest of the day after this? I'm just joking. I love you, Clyda.
I was gonna say that's a good possibility.
I'm gonna go with a Jesse. Food. That's a Jesse answer.
Can I get a Steve the Mayor Clyde answer?
Food that doesn't give me stats.
I want to
It's
see
specific.
cheese that's made out of rehydrogenated milk.
Hydrogenated.
Hydrogen. No.
Nah.
Oh,
Hydrogenated.
Man.
And they
sounded
say
like-
I've been smoking the bowl.
Yeah, you sounded like one of your favorite tanking athletes trying to read his own diploma right there. My favorite prison food. My favorite prison food that I want to see is I want to see a whole line of toilet hooches. I mean, I want like this is our 09. It's a delightful cherry blend. We had
You could call one like a life sentence. I mean, you could do them after sentence.
yes, and then I would want like a sommelier. I would want my own sommelier.
Oh, dude,
that
I
was,
can help you market those.
It was like,
That'd be sweet.
yes, sir. This is our 2009. It is made with peaches with just the hint of inmate feces.
Yeah.
Bringing it the earthy tones that make it one of our favorites.
Plus, it has corn.
Yeah, this is our corn brew.
Yeah, there
Actually,
you go.
corn would be a good brew, high in sugar, easy to ferment.
Many Americans compare the taste to Colt 45. That is not comedy. Tastes like flat Colt 45, making it easily a bestseller here. All right, that got out of hand. Oh, we're back to Coachella, guys. Wrapping up rapid fire. Oh no, we're not wrapping up. What did I do?
What did you do? What are you talking about? What did you?
It's hard to say because it looks like a knife murderer attacked your notes.
Yeah, those are my notes. We're going back to Coachella. We had Tupac show up as a hologram singing "Hail Mary, Run With Me." Oh, that's who's calling. I'm gonna have to take that. Who would you guys want to have following you around as a hologram the most? Explain the scenario if you need to. I'm feeling mine's just gonna be like a hangout session, just buddy. But go ahead, Johnny. Who do you want for your hologram?
I'm with you. Mine's gonna be a hangout session, buddy, and it's gonna be Elvis's last hours. You know, the fat one in the hotel room on the toilet.
Are you guys gonna go on like a 24-hour like a bender of the Memphis Rib Shacks?
I'd love to see what he could have done just
Yeah.
in those last 3 hours, pants
Yeah.
around his ankles, and fat Elvis wandering around.
Eating Snickers pancakes.
That'd be sweet, and see who he could still score with.
Yeah,
That would be the amazing thing.
with hologram Elvis. You're still pulling some groupie action. I love it. Jesse,
JFK.
your first answer
Really?
was Han Solo and you know it.
No, no.
You gonna go for a ride in Texas with him? Is that what you're gonna do? I'm telling you one thing,
Head down.
Well, you're talking about seeing what kind of stuff you could pull. I mean, JFK.
Yeah. JFK's famous line was like, "I'd like to go to the other room to have a serious conversation with you," and he got laid with that
Yeah.
all the time.
That's a man whose finger I'd like to smell, because he was with Marilyn Monroe. So
Who
maybe
wasn't
that,
he with? He was like, "Hey, I'm JFK." Let's go.
Anyway. Okay.
Which is, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse is at Mid-Michigan Idol every single Wednesday night, spouting lines similar to that in their smoothness and paucity. Mr.
What?
Clyda,
I don't know.
paucity, Paucit.
Because I was gonna spell it a whole different way.
Yep.
Yeah, well, read a book sometime.
And it's smooth. One I'm thinking of
Clyda,
is smooth.
who would you have follow you around with a hologram?
Ben Franklin.
Oh.
Oh.
What would you and holographic Ben Franklin do?
Talk about inventing stuff.
Also, Ben Franklin was a huge drinker.
And-
You should read his memoirs.
And a bit of a slut.
Bit of a slob.
Slut.
Oh, yeah, he went to France and got syphilis, didn't he?
Yeah.
Very loose morals on that man.
Yeah. Although he did write Poor Richard's Almanac, for which we thank him. I feel like I would want to hang out with... I don't even know if I have an answer. I have too much fun with myself and my friends here at One Nerd Nation.
Dude,
Oh,
what
that
if you had a hologram of yourself from 10 years ago?
That's what I want. Thank you. Oh my God, you know me so well. My best friend there, Steve Clyde, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up with exactly what I want a hologram of myself following me around. Not from 10 years ago. I'd beat the crap out of that one. I want a hologram of like 27-year-old me.
And the thing is, I would
Pretty
want
laid back, so-
that hologram from 10 years ago to beat the crap out of me now. Just to stop, just to beat the hell out of me right now. That would be sweet.
You're gonna fight your own hologram?
Oh yeah.
Like Dark Link. Just tie it back to the dorks, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch out for that yelling. as far away from
Just-
Mike.
Jesse scared me.
Okay, and for our final, that's what it was. I finally found my stride with one segment left.
Elvis off the table.
It's for our final. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about NBA tanking. We talked about sports tanking. In general, I think it's a bitchy move. It's time to bring out the bitch meter, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go on sound effects. On a scale of Rosie O'Donnell's voice and personality to Sean Connery's voice and personality, 1 to 10, how bitchy is sports tanking, Mr. Clatta?
So 1 is the worst score you can give it.
1 is the least bitchy. That would be Sean Connery's voice and personality.
Okay, because I thought you said 10 was his voice and personality. I got really confused.
No.
And really mad.
If
Yeah.
it helps, just think about
He would have hit you.
Highlander juxtaposed against A League of Their Own.
Oh my god.
A lot of really big words.
Tanking on the bitch meter, it's got to be at least a 9, probably a 10.
So Madonna's morality, that's what that would be.
Okay.
Yes.
A 9 on the bitch meter. Jesse.
If there's a way beyond, because I'm with you, it's really just bitchy. I want to be on 10. It's,
So that would be George Herbert Walker's Bush fraternity career.
what?
Wow.
I was gonna say Fran Dresser's voice and Rosie O'Donnell's body, but okay.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth.
Johnny, scale of 1 to 10. How disgusted, how bitchy is sports tanking? It's supposed to be competitive.
Jesse really disturbed me there for a second.
All of us.
I'm derailed. I'm only gonna give it like a 5.
A 5. It's
Yeah.
not you're. I don't think you care enough
It's
to
all
really. Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
That would be more of a Tim Allen's apology after his 3rd DUI.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of bitchy.
He thought he
but
could
you're
make
not.
it home.
Yeah, exactly. It's really very mean. Yeah, he might have been the least hammered guy in the car. We don't know.
That's right.
Making him the most responsible drunk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Sean, you got anything to weigh in here? No? All right, I'm gonna go with Jesse. Thank you so much, Jesse, for putting the bar that high. It is Fran Drescher's voice on Rosie O'Donnell's body, possibly combined with. No, that's it.
I don't know if you can get worse than that.
Yeah, I was gonna try and we just couldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of
Rosie.
Rapid Fire. That's the end of the table read. Thank you for tuning in this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit unprofessional. We laughed a lot, and you know what? That's what we like. Thank you so much for coming by Stretch's Curve Bar on the corner of Henry and Fisher for all of your catering and getting hammered needs. Make sure you listen to Josh and Sean in the morning every 9 to noon. You listen to them right before this on the table read. Thank you guys so much, and remember, at the table read, every day is Earth Day. Thank you.
So about that crayon,